guys, it's Vanessa V. I have a quick question for you because it's something I've been having to ask myself all week long. And that is, have you allowed yourself to become your emotions? I definitely have almost done that a lot this week, and it's not about being perfect. So I will have to say that I have allowed myself to become my emotions a little bit, but not to the extent that I would have had I not been asking myself that question. And the reason I want to share it with you guys is because there's been a lot going on in my life recently that has just been huge. It's just one thing after another, and it doesn't stop. And as soon as I think I've gotten a handle on those, another thing comes into the mix. And I feel like that's pretty common, right? Like that's life. And the more that happens, the bigger the things are, the more they can call to us and pull us in and drag us under. And the more that reality becomes more real and the bigger they become. So yeah, quite honestly, I've been on the brink of tears this week. Haven't cried yet, but hard for me to cry. But I have been trying to allow myself to feel sad and to feel the way that I've been feeling without it taking me over and without me buying into it. I've been trying to allow myself to acknowledge what's going on, to feel what I'm feeling without shoving it away, and at the same time, not allowing it to become me and to take me over, where I become that situation. I become the emotions and the thoughts and the point of view that it's all telling me. Really trying to check that and just go, okay, this feels really bad. It seems really bad. All these things feel like kind of a nightmare individually and together. It doesn't feel good. Of course it's not going to feel good. And if I allow myself to go deeper into them and to feel deeper into them without having some sort of tether back to the present, they could suck me down further to a point where I don't actually realize that I'm in as deep as I'm in, where it starts to seem super logical for me to be in this state or to feel the way that I'm feeling. And it can be easy to do that, right? It's like a rip current. It can sweep you up. And I think asking myself this and stating this to myself, what we're talking about today, does sort of help me come out of that when I find myself that I'm like in a little deep. And also to stay out of that once I realize that I'm starting to sort of tiptoe towards all the stuff that seems so real, all the stuff that I have to think through, to focus on, to deal with, to walk through, to try to handle, to try to also live my life with all this stuff going on. And it honestly, it takes a lot. And so that's one reason that I wanted to share this with you. And that's what this channel is all about, is living life despite the stuff that goes on in it in a way that's closest to who we truly are. It's not about being perfect. It's just about doing the best that we can do and just counterbalancing as we go. What I ask myself after that, or rather what I tell myself after that, that further helps me stay out of those negative emotions and stay more on top and in this victory mindset, is I say, okay, I'm not going to allow myself to become those emotions, because it's so hard. It's so hard when there are so many things going on that are hellish and real. I'm not at all saying that what we experience isn't real. What I'm saying is that because they're real, it's so much more important for us in those moments to stay closest to who we truly are and to be able to access that logical, rational thinking, that decision making, that perception that allows us to stay not only in more control of the situation, but also of ourselves. It helps us to not expel unnecessary energy in negative thinking, negative feeling, negative dealing with. I can honestly say I've been using this more and more this week. And what it's helped me do is throw up a shield with all of that stuff going on. Just enough where it separates the situations, the negative feelings, the negative calling that it's doing to me, and my truest, bestest self, my most logical self, my most rational self, my most good feeling self. And I will say most of my life, I did not experience that. I was constantly becoming my emotions and fighting with them and trying to get out of them and feeling like I was on a roller coaster and tired all the time and in pain and just chronically feeling horrible, which honestly, I still have to walk through. I still have to try to combat that and address that. But asking myself and telling myself this basically one concept, this very quick, easy concept that I can use in the moment, really helps me check all of that and allows me to not become the emotions that seem really real and logical, especially the more real and heavy a situation is. But it just helps me to stay in that more control just enough where I can try to cultivate that. I can try to cultivate remaining as balanced as I can, remaining as in as much control as I possibly can throughout those situations, because I need to make sure that I am sustainable. And I have found that the more I become emotions, even if they're fun emotions, which I definitely allow myself to feel a lot, but even they can feel draining sometimes, right? But the more I become, especially those negative emotions, the less sustainable I am, the less I'm able to reign over those situations and reign over my life, the less I'm able to conquer those things that are trying to hold me back. So just quite simply saying to myself, okay, there's a lot going on here. It's a lot to deal with. It feels so real. It's starting to pull me down. I feel so depressed about the situation. I feel so angry. I feel so confused. Why is more and more stuff happening to me? That can all spin us and pick us up in that rip current, right? And it can all seem so logical and real. And then our reactions to that can seem so logical and so real. I've just learned, and I don't remember when I heard this, and ever since I came upon this quick little hacky question and statement to myself, it has honestly truly helped me to check my situations, check my emotions, check my thoughts, check my point of view, and sort of reset into the healthiest version of myself that I can be while all this stuff is going on, right? And it can be so hard when we're in those situations because that subconscious brain that we talk about on this channel is trying to convince us that these things are how we are perceiving them to be. And it's trying to get us to handle them in a way that's protecting us, that survival mode protection. And so, of course, it seems logical. It's our control center. It can be really hard, especially in the beginning, to stop and not buy into it right away and to just go, okay, I can tell that things are seeming a certain way. And are they really? And is how I'm acting, reacting, responding, like we've talked about, is that matching the reality of the situation, the actual reality of the situation? Lastly, the reason that I look like this today is because it's actually an impromptu chat that I wasn't planning on doing, but I just got done doing some of the stuff that I'm going to share with you guys today, and I thought it would be a really great chat to do. That's sort of why we're just kind of in this corner, and my hair looks like this, and I'm wearing the robe that I'm wearing. When I ask myself these things, when I state that to myself, it gives me just enough access out of everything that's swirling around me to go, okay, I can feel my healthiest version of myself. I'm gonna try and stay in that. And how do I do that? I'm gonna try and do some wellness hacks like we've talked about. And they can be easy, simple, customizable. Some of the stuff that I did today already was
I got up and moved. That can be a huge wellness hack for me if I feel like I have sat too long, or I am just, sitting, trying to figure out and think through things. Doing that can actually, like we talked about, cause things to seem bigger. So I thought to myself after I did this, I was like, okay, what can I do to sort of snap myself out of this situation, even though I'm still acknowledging that it's real and it's here. I can tell if I do that, it'll feel good. It'll help sort of break me out of this and help trigger my brain out of this dark, cloudy horribleness. Then I washed my face just because I think cleansing can help. The stuff that I use smells good, so that's a sensory thing that we've talked about. Then I decided to moisturize my face because that's beneficial and helpful, and it also feels good and it's sensory. Oh, I also put on this white robe because to me, I was like, you know what do I want to wear that's going to help me feel better, right? Hey, why not? It's a wellness thing. I think the color, the texture of it, of the terry cloth, that's all playing into it as well without me having to work so hard, right? That's what all these things are for. And then I thought to myself, okay, I think lighting a candle might actually work, even though in my mind subconsciously I'm like,
I'm burning money.
But it smells good, it's calming, I'm looking at it right now, it's soothing to look at, and it's also snapping me back to present when I see the flame move a little bit. I put down a beach sarong on my table while I was doing my nails, because the color I thought would help snap me out of this sort of faraway feeling that I've been feeling. I decided to do my nails. It's a new color that I've tried. By the way, I love doing my nails, if you guys haven't noticed. It helps me stay more grounded and less anxious and stressed.
So if you guys are interested in a future chat about all the nail polishes that I use that are for less stress, let me know in the comments below for sure, because I would love to do it.
I also did my makeup routine, which really isn't very much makeup at all, but that helped me feel fresh. It gave me something to do with my hands. It helped me be a little bit more active. I wasn't trying to be perfect. I was just trying to help myself feel fresher without me having to try so hard. I also noticed that I was super, super revved up while I was doing these things, and so I had to stop.
I had to think about, okay, what stress hacks do I want to use? What stress hacks are going to help me calm? And I did them and it actually worked. I think when we stop and ask ourselves, am I becoming my emotions? And if I have, stating, I'm not going to allow myself to become my emotions, puts that shield up, and I can go, okay, what are some quick things that I can do that are easy, simple, I don't have to overthink, I'm not going to judge, I'm not going to try to be perfect, that are going to help me rebalance out of the stuff going on so that I can feel more sustainable and reign over all of it. I'm not going to try to distract myself, but I'm going to try and do some things while acknowledging the real shit that's going on. I'm going to also try to do things that trigger positive feelings in me, trigger a sense of health, help increase my health esteem, and help me to not be so swallowed up by those negative things and those negative thoughts and emotions. Because as soon as I do, I lose control of the situation. I immediately am handing over power to the situation. I'm just gonna try and rebalance. It's all about sustainability. It's all about feeling good and the best we can despite the situation going on. And really focusing on, what do I need in this moment? What do I need in this situation to balance, to counterbalance what's going on? So I'm going to continue after this chat to do more wellness hacks. And sometimes it doesn't feel very good to do that. Sometimes it doesn't even occur to us. Or it seems like socially we're not allowed to or supposed to, right? Just knowing that in the core of all this thunder and all of these storms is my strength. And I'm going to try and focus on that and cultivate that. And so anyway, thanks for being here, you guys. I hope that this helps you. Definitely. Feel free to send me the vibes, please. I'm definitely sending you the vibes. It's going to be an amazing week for you. I know it. And thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So I'll see you guys next week. Mwah! Bye.